All right, Shalom. Call hello, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabbat Shem Kakadash. The ones to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. I just wanted to dive straight in there because, the scriptures talk about us casting down strongholds. We wrestle not with flesh and blood, but against strongholds of darkness. And unfortunately, it's crazy because we can see that our people are still in those chains under those strongholds. Because whenever you have a stronghold, that's basically like a military base, and it's dug in. Usually they try to put it in like a side of a mountain. That'll be a strong one, or in a position on the side of a hill. And the purpose of that stronghold is for you to. It's a fort. It's a military base. It's for you to hold out, and you to be able to keep whatever you have stored in it, whether it be troops, whether it be a safe or whatever it is. But it's a stronghold. Well, the strongholds that we're going up against are some of the things that have been confusing men and bringing confusion on the earth for thousands of years, and it's still doing so to this day. That's why we continue to push, we continue to fight so hard against it, because we want to see our people wake it up. We want to see our people wake up from the madness. And I'm gonna just jump in, and you got to pick out the bones from a lot of these black consciousness guys. But one thing I can say, at least a lot of them, they read into different things, and they're able to relay them to a street level and kind of try to take them and use them. They're Israelites. For the most part, they're all Israelites. And so you can see, though, that they're lost under these strongholds. And that's why a lot of them, like Red Pill, he has a lot of information, but you'll see him a lot of times in the middle of the night with glasses on. The eyes are the windows to the soul. But let's jump into it.
So I'm not just shooting from the side of my neck. This was actual. There's a museum in Spain, a whole museum. It's in Spain and it's in Latin America, of the torture tools that they use to convert thousands and thousands of people. You have in North America conversion schools. You had in America where they took the quote-unquote Native Americans and they Americanized them, or they Christianized them. In the Caribbean, when I was in St. Croix as a child, the missionaries and the nuns and whatnot, they would beat you with rulers to basically, inside of their schools, to make you convert and make you conform and make you, just go with whatever they were trying to sell you. So.
Yep, and the thing about that's another stronghold that our people are under, because Esau has promoted that plantation Christianity for so long, trying to beat you, trying to trick you, trying to lie to you, falsifying history, just so you can come under their system and their order, because that's their nature. Going back to all their empires, that's what we know what they do. They're the culture vulture. They come, they steal, the best things from you. They take away your culture, and then you become a part of their culture. That's the nature of Esau. And now that's what's going on now in America. Esau is profiting off of Jake signing these contracts. And then when they do finally get a leg up, like Michael Jackson or Bill Cosby, where they buy up certain catalogs of certain artists, certain multi-platinum artists or whatever, then, all of a sudden you pop up in the news, and all of a sudden, all these different things that you were doing in the industry, they start to come to light, even though, they were supposed to say a secret. But that's what those guys get for shaking hands with the devil And that's another way we know, these people are the Edomites, because what they were doing was wrong. Okay, the true tone of the scriptures is totally different. And he mentioned the torture tools of the Inquisition. Well, this is what was going on. Now, this something interesting. Matter of fact, let me get that. Now, I just want to, which I wasn't even going to talk about this. This is the spirit. Here's the history of Esau's church. Well, here's the history of the so-called Catholic Church. They credited it to the early Christian church. They credited it around the time where Yahushua died, so they're trying to link the saints to the Catholic Church, even though it was Israelites who first formed the Catholic Church. Then Protestantism branched off from that. Old Catholic churches branched off from that. Quakerism, and then all these other things branched off from Protestantism. Lutheranism, Episcopal, Methodist, Pentecost, Congregationalist, all this, bullshit. United Methodist, Church of Scotland, Reformed, Anabaptist, Mennonite, Amish, madness, just fucking madness. Baptism, Baptist, Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist, Southern Baptist, which that's a lot of those jakes. And the scriptures talk about, look, if you're not supposed to make divisions in the body, there's not supposed to be any divisions in the body. When you look at Esau's, you can see it right here. All of these different churches, there are divisions in them. They don't all answer to the Roman Catholics. They don't all answer to, I don't even know if there are so-called heads of the Protestant churches. I know a lot of these churches, they'll send pastors from this church to that church or whatever. Look, the point being, just like Red Pill was going into, Esau didn't have the truth. Okay, the truth never told you to do no kind of shit like this. And what they would do is they would torture you, if they caught you doing certain things, or maybe just for the fuck of it. And they would talk about, well, look, this is to purify you, because the scriptures talk about, you have to be made clean, and you have to chasten yourself. Well, they would actually fucking tie you up and look at this homo ass shit. This is some Edomite shit. What the fuck are they doing? Yep. So this is Esau. This is Esau. And our people, they have to get over this as a hurdle, because you can clearly see, and that's why the scriptures say what? Blessed is he that readeth, because you're supposed to know what the scriptures are about. You're supposed to know who you are. You're supposed to know about your heritage. You're supposed to know. Esau will call it a classical education, where you gain that's what they had in the ancient world. You gain an understanding of order and rank. You gain an understanding of kingship, rulership, history. They taught, a lot of them were taught music. They were taught the art of war, all these different things, so that once you came to a certain age, you can put two and two together. Basically they taught you how to think, and nowadays, they teach you what to think. And that's why these people out here are complete idiots and jackasses, because Esau has dumbed down his society. And the educational system and the curriculum is all created heavily by Amalek. So it's under the vibration of Esau and his brothers that everything is how it is. And what the brother was talking about, they used to beat the shit out of you to try to get you to fall under the order of these wicked ass Edomites, because they're not the true Christians. They're not the true saints. And some of this stuff goes back to medieval technology, which could have been Jake, but doing some of this shit in the name of forcing somebody to convert, that was never in the scriptures. That was never in the scriptures. Yep, and then I actually have one more, as you can see. Look at that. The scriptures talk about no schisms, right? You had something actually called the Great Schism of the 11th century, where Roman Catholicism branched off from Eastern Orthodox, and then that's when Rome was split in two. You had the Eastern Roman Empire, then you had the Western Roman Empire, and you had all that stuff, and then that branch from that, this branch from that. This isn't the same thing that the Lord was doing when he was on the scene, when he was with the apostles, and when he was with his other disciples as well. It's not the same. Okay, it's not the same. You can research that. But going back to what the brother's saying.
I think that our people have.
Matter of fact, let me jump into scriptures and let the Bible speak. This is John 3:19. This is going down from John 3:16, where he talks about his love for the world of Israel, that he gave his only begotten Son, for whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And if you believe in him, you're going to do works that align with that belief. For he sent his Son not into the world to condemn. He sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved, so that Israel might be saved. And that's what we're aiming for right now through our works and through our faith, ultimately. Jumping down to verse 19, and this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. And that's what's going on right now on the earth. Okay? Because I'm not gonna play it, but he's going to address the ADOS thing, which ADOS is basically Judah, the head tribe of Israel, the Judites. They're pissed off because some of these other tribes are kind of prospering a little better, and they didn't receive the harsher punishment. They didn't have to do the same type of work, and so they're kind of pissed off at the other tribes. They're like, look, American descendants of slavery, we're gonna have to hold our own nuts, and all you other people who come from these other locations, we're gonna have to stop you from trying to take over and trying to supplant us, because that's what a lot of the other tribes do. They come here to America, they'll that's what they did historically. They went over to so-called black neighborhoods, and then they would get in there with Jake and be cool with Judites, and then they would branch out and create their own neighborhoods and their own things. But one thing I can say about people who come here from other places, be it the Caribbean or be it West Africa, when they come here, they don't come with the bullshit. They come here full focus, head of steam, seeing how their family is, and then a large part of our people, they come and they can outdo Esau in his own system. And Judah, so the head tribe, they're stuck on the whole black thing. They're stuck on the whole black culture. So, hey, it's a complete mess. That's the point being, it's a complete fucking mess in the so-called black community. It's a complete fucking mess in Native American and Latino community, in the Caribbean community, West African community. Everything is out of order. Everything is out of fucking whack. But I'm gonna let him speak some more.
I've been discouraged from the Hebrew faith for many different reasons.
And what they were doing was not the Hebrew faith, by the way.
One of the main reasons is because of the language. Rest in peace to all of the brothers and sisters who lost their lives in that Ethiopian plane crash. But the Coptic Ethiopians, the fact that if you get into their language, the Aramaic and whatnot, and you're able to read these holy texts and things of that nature, they could unlock mysteries that.
Wait a minute. You got brothers right now on the internet. I'm gonna highlight Great Millstone because we're the top group doing Hebrew, going through words. This Hebrew, that Hebrew. We're going to the concordance. Brothers have Bible dictionaries. Brothers have the Strong's Concordance. You can go on the Blue Letter. You can go into the Hebrew, and it's not Aramaic, it's Hebrew. So Jake, man, the answer is right here in your fucking face. The answer is right, when brothers go out and stand. And that's why we got to do more to try to push the word. We got to do more for the Lord. We got to do more for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We got to continue to push. We got to do more, man, because the word has to get out. Brothers got to get the started with myself first and foremost. Got to get that Hebrew down. Got to get all the history, all the breakdowns. Yeah, because Jake is looking for the answers, but a lot of them they're not gonna wake up. But a lot of Jakes are gonna wake up.
Have been inside of those texts because remember when these quote unquote holy books or these texts or these scrolls were interpreted or translated into English, a lot of things were lost in translation. So they don't want us to invoke this original tongue. They don't want us to know about mysticism from a Kabbalah standpoint. They don't want you to know.
See, and Jake going off, trying to dive into some bullshit.
The true Hebrew faith and whatnot. So that's being, that's not encouraged. That's highly not encouraged. And even when it comes to brothers and sisters learning about Islam, they.
All right. So, hey, that's my, hey. That's why we say about the consciousness niggas, because he's gonna keep trying to teeter on one thing, teeter on the other thing. Hey, you're supposed to get the full truth. You're supposed to get the full doctrine. You're supposed to get that full meal. And that's ultimately what a lot of Israel, they don't want to do. They don't want to commit to something because in their experience, whatever their personal religion or maybe even with people, a lot of this shit can fail you. You feel like it's not fulfilling. You don't got, the $1 million at your hand or whatever. You can't necessarily touch or feel the kingdom as of yet, even though we're building up that spiritual kingdom. And so they get, they get, what's it called? They don't have the faith. That's what I was gonna say. They don't have that faith. They don't have that faith. But I'm gonna just read this next one. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. And that's what Israel doesn't want to do. Okay, you gotta look. One thing they'll talk about the Bible. They'll talk about. He was kind of dipping and dabbling into Genesis 15-13, which is talking about us being in Egypt, not talking about us being here in America, the whole 400-year thing. And Salaki. Yeah, we got to come to the light. You gotta hate the darkness. Look, Kabbalahism. When you gonna do any of that shit in open, in public, I really don't know about, all of this. It's going into some, Khazarian mysticism and magic and Satanism, and that's going into some other shit. But are you gonna do that shit in open? No, you're not. So you're not supposed to get into it. It's that simple. Boom. So, the question becomes, are these guys really just fucking lost? Or are they pushing madness, and they really having another agenda behind it? And, that hasn't been necessarily revealed fully, but it will be. What the scriptures talk about, man, everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. And that's what these guys hate. They don't like light, because he's talking about all these different rituals and these things, but he's not gonna put it on video and show you him doing it. You have videos out of brothers doing the Passover, or brothers having another high holy day, or maybe a prayer or something in Hebrew. Brothers aren't hiding. We do a salute at the end of camp, but these guys aren't going to show these little rituals and the shit that they do for all the world to see, because it's supposed to be a secret. And that's another way what they're doing is bullshit. Here he is again, once again, you know, I know it's a bright light on the camera, but you're in kind of a dark place. You know, you're indoors. More deception and bullshit
And then
too.
we talk about.
But you know, anywho, hey, I'm gonna just end it off on here, man. Call hello, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabashim Kakadash. At a certain point, you gotta stop the madness. You know, not talking specifically to this guy, but you know, as speaking for myself first and foremost, you have to come to an understanding about things. It just has to happen. You know, you be on this earth for so long, and you try to put two and two together, and then you stumble across the Israelites. Boom, boom, boom. The stuff starts clicking and starts connecting. You got to walk with it. You know, we're not gonna backtrack. So call hello, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Bashim Kakadash. Lord willing, is edifying.